or from the goats. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in this evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on 2 side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. Let's get down to the 12th verse. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite all of the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. 13th verse. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you, when I smite the land of Egypt. You may be seated. If I can, just for a little bit today, very simple topic. I am covered by the blood.
All right.
I am covered by the blood. Some of us wonder how we made it this far. How we made it through some of these situations that we've been in, some of the stuff that we should have been killed in or we should have died in. Simple answer. I'm covered by the blood. Now here in this book of Exodus, God told Moses to go tell the children of Israel that they needed to get a lamb. And if your family or your household was too small, you go in with your neighbor and y'all share a lamb.
All right.
I mean, many people know how if you're short on some sugar, if you're short on anything, you can go to your neighbor and help your neighbor out. So basically, they were to help their neighbor out in this situation. And he basically said if your house was too small, y'all go in together and get a lamb. Now, most people don't know, but this also ties in with the New Testament in ways. And this lamb had to be without blemish.
All right.
It had to be healthy. It had to be, strong. It had to, and if you go, basically, when you go into the New Testament in John described, when John saw Jesus coming towards him, he said, behold, the lamb that takes away all sins of the world.
All right.
So this lamb that they had, it represented Jesus, and also a lamb. I found out that a lamb, when it had to be 1 year old and it had to be a male.
All right.
And according to some study, when a lamb is 1 year old, that is that he's in his prime of his life, basically. That's the healthiest time of his life.
All right.
So when Jesus sacrificed his life, he was in his prime.
Yeah.
He was at the healthiest point of his life. And they had to watch the lamb for some days and make sure that he was healthy. He didn't have any diseases or any sickness. He had to be without blemish, basically representing the life of Jesus. See, they watched Jesus. They tried to find some sin in him. They tried to find some wrong in him. But even his enemy said, I can't find no fault in this man. I can't find any sin in this man. And on the 14th day, they had to kill it. And they had to use the blood. But let me go back a little bit. But so basically, this story is all of everybody know the story about Pharaoh and how he had the children of Israel in bondage. And God sent Moses to him and told him to tell him, if you go back in Exodus 4:22, it says, and thou shalt, he said to tell Pharaoh that Israel is my firstborn.
All right.
And he's my son, basically. Then he said he's my firstborn. And he said, free my son. Let my son go so that they can serve me. But Pharaoh being a little hard-headed, he hardened his heart. So, man, they went through plenty of plagues. The plague of darkness, the plague of locusts. And all throughout this time, the children of Israel were not harmed, but just the people of Egypt.
Right.
So let me come back up for a little bit. They said they should strike the blood. They should strike the blood over the top of the doorpost and on the side. And that blood just basically the sacrifice of the lamb represented the sacrifice that Jesus did for us on the cross. So that blood that he shed, I don't know if they knew that this lamb that they were talking about was representing Jesus. This lamb that they were talking about, it represented the Son of God. That he gave his only begotten Son for us to be able to withstand these tests of times and life and deliver us from our sins. So that they went through all this, the children of Israel went through all this, but when they finally got delivered, they got out of bondage. Guess what it took? It took the blood of the Lamb to fully deliver them. So to fully be delivered from your sins and whatever got you bound and in captivity, you got to confess Jesus Christ, and it's going to take the blood of Jesus, the blood of the Lamb, to be fully delivered from all these. And then they had to eat it, and when they had to eat that lamb after they killed it, they basically had, he told them to eat it what they were dressed, to be dressed and be ready to go, because they were getting ready to get out of Egypt. They were getting ready to leave that place. So they took that blood and put it over the top doorpost and the side doorpost. They didn't put it at the bottom because the blood was not to be trampled on. You couldn't step on it. It had to be over you. It had to cover you. So y'all get a little excited because God didn't have to do what he did. It's amazing. Some people think that we made it this far on our own. Some people think we have made it through all these tests and trials by ourselves, but it was the blood that kept us covered. So forgive me if I stumble over my words a little bit, because I was getting excited just reading this. I got to let in my feelings, because it's just amazing that he thought about little old me and little old us. He died on the cross, and people think that blood that he shed went to waste. Nah, it didn't go to waste. It's still keeping us here today. He didn't shed that blood for nothing. So let me go a little further. He said when I see the blood is going to be a token. So when I see it, I'm going to pass over it. When I see it, that destruction, that plague is not going to harm you. And another reason why they were covered and why the plague didn't bother them, because they were obedient. They did what God told them to do. They did what God told them to do. So in order to be covered, you got to be obedient. You got to do what God tells you to do. They were obedient. They didn't ask no questions. They just did what God told Moses to tell them, they just did it. They were obedient the whole time. They put the blood over the doorpost and on the side of the doorpost. And God said, I'm going to pass over you, which I'm just about through, which reminds me of the story. I don't know if y'all remember the story about Sandy Hook Elementary School back in 2012 in Connecticut. It was a girl in the classroom that survived when the shooter came in and killed all her classmates, and she was in the first grade. Killed all her classmates, and she played dead. So let's be known. In the article. And this came to me last night, so I decided to pull the article up. And in the article, it said when she ran out and she saw her mama, and she ran out to school after everything was over with, she was covered in blood. And they asked her, how did you survive? She said, when the killer came in, I laid on the floor and I played dead, and I took the blood from one of my classmates. And I put it all over my body. And I covered myself. So when the killer came in, he walked right on past me. Yes, sir. So that lets me know I didn't make it this far by myself. I'm covered by the blood. Can I get a witness in here today? Anybody here wonder how you made it through this bad situation? Anybody here wonder how the destructions of life and all these things in your life pass you by? It's because you're covered by the blood. Can I get a witness in here today? It don't take all day to get this point across. It don't take all day to tell you what God gave me to tell you. Anybody in here wonder how we survived the flood back in 2016? It's because you were covered by the blood. Anybody know that when prison battles and calamity come in your life, they may harm you, but they won't destroy you because you're covered by the blood. Anybody in here know that the blood that Jesus shed on Calvary, it still works right here today. That same blood that he shed on 2,000 years ago is still working right now. I thank you, Lord, for covering me by the blood. Anybody here want to know how can you be covered by the blood? All you got to do is confess in your heart and confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died on Calvary, went to a hill on Calvary with a cross on his shoulder, and put nails in his hands, nails in his feet, and he hung him high and stretched him wide. He hung right there for me, he died. And the Bible said that they had to kill the lamb in twilight, which means that between the hours of 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. But if anybody knows that the same time that they sacrificed the lamb is the same time that Jesus died on the cross, yes, Lord, Lord, I thank you for the blood. Yeah. Can I get a witness in here? When somebody come to you and ask you, how did you make it out of that carpet? How did you make it through the cancer? How did you make it from the sickness? How did you make it through AIDS? How did you make it through high blood pressure? Just tell them that blood that Jesus shed back on Calvary, it got me covered from my head down to my toes. Which means you may come at me, but you can't destroy me. Cancer got to bow down to the